morning and welcome to the Regional Chamber's 2021 annual meeting. If you don't know me, my name is Michael Schrock, Senior Vice President and Mahoning Valley President at TCF Bank and President of the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber's Board of Directors, which means I do what all those people tell me to do. And I cannot tell you how truly wonderful it is to see everybody in person, live and in person. How about it? Is that a yes? Yes. So we want to mention that we are missing some key Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber staff today. Just as information only, one member of the staff tested positive for COVID. As we continue to practice good safety and health, they went to the Board of Health protocols, and some of those folks are actually quarantined through this time. They are not exhibiting any symptoms at all, but they are joining today's festivities virtually. So hello, those that are quarantined this morning. That is the reason why you have me to listen to instead of the wonderful Kim Calvert or Sarah Boyarco. Chamber is only 2 events into 2021, and attendance at each has already exceeded pre-COVID levels. We are excited to be able to move forward today's event with you in person and are hopeful that the remainder of the year looks to be the same for us. Our annual meeting is a time for the Chamber's board and staff to come together to celebrate our organization and community, talk about our goals and accomplishments, and thank our membership for their commitment and dedication to the Valley. We will present our annual awards to 1 business and 3 institutions that are significantly impacting our Valley and its future. And we are also going to hear about the Chamber's focus and efforts for this year from our new President and CEO, Guy Coviello. We're glad to welcome many longtime and new sponsors to the annual meeting and are especially thrilled to welcome to the Youngstown-Warren community our keynote speaker, Dr. Slade Gardner, the world's foremost authority on additive manufacturing, who's going to share some of his insight with us this morning. We look forward to hearing from you, Slade, and all of our sponsors in just a bit. But as we get the celebration underway, I'll just start by saying it wasn't a coincidence that our annual meeting happened to fall on St. Paddy's Day. And since everyone is Irish today, we are going to kick off our morning the right way and ask our friends at the beautiful Eastwood Event Center to bring out an adult beverage, one, of course, that had to be green. Now, if your supervisor, I know you can't drink at work, I can't, but if your supervisor takes one, feel free. And it's going to be like Vegas, okay? With these spotlights, I cannot see much. I am not going to tell anybody, all right? So as they bring out the mimosas, okay, I would like to take a moment to thank Cafaro Company, Eastwood Mall Complex, and the Event Center for hosting us this morning. And last night, at a very special VIP reception. This is one fantastic facility. The teams at all 3 always provide the highest level and quality of service to ensure a wonderful experience for our guests. To the Cafaro family, Esther, Bashaw, and staff, we thank you. I would now like to take a time to introduce those that are at our head tables today. You can see there's 2 levels of head tables. That doesn't mean one's better than the other, by the way. To your left is Guy Coviello, President and CEO of the Regional Chamber. Dr. Slade Gardner is to his left, your right. He's president and founder of Big Metal Additive and our keynote speaker for today. Holly Schwartz, Vice President of Personal Protected and our keynote speaker sponsor. Kevin Duncan, Senior Account Executive, 100 Plus Market, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, our Spirit of the Chamber Award presentation sponsor. Mark Wennick, Senior Vice President and Chief Wealth Management Officer at Farmers National Bank, our breakfast sponsor. And at the tables below, far left, Tom Gallagher, Plant Manager at Altium Cells, accepting the Spirit of the Valley Award for General Motors. Scott Gryzlewski, Chief Operating Officer at AVI Foods, sponsor of our Spirit of the Valley Award presentation. And our Spirit of the Chamber Award recipients, Michael Gagan, President of Eastern Gateway Community College, Jim Tressel, President of Youngstown State University, and Dr. Daniel Palmer, Interim Dean and Chief Administrative Officer at Kent State University at Trumbull. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of our longtime partnership with Farmers National Bank and Anthem as we host this event each and every year. And new partnerships as we welcome AVI Food Systems and Personal Protected. We are fortunate that these businesses continually support the Chamber and its initiatives, and we appreciate the generosity that allows us to bring you more than 100 programs and events each and every year. I'm glad to first welcome back Farmers National Bank. Farmers has been at the table for several years and is a great friend to the Regional Chamber, and we are grateful for their long time and ongoing commitment. Please welcome for our remarks Mr. Mark Wennick, Senior Vice President and Chief Wealth Management Officer. Mark?
Thank you, Michael, and good morning, everybody. It is a real pleasure to see everybody this morning, business associates, friends, and colleagues. And on behalf of Farmers National Bank, welcome. And again, this is a wonderful facility. It's the second time that we've been fortunate to utilize it at the Chamber, and I'm sure we'll be back many, many more times. I mentioned colleagues. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize my colleagues, the financial institution colleagues in the room. We are blessed with great leadership at those financial institutions and great support in the community. So again, thank you guys and ladies for your support. Also, the new sponsors, very exciting to hear some new names. And again, it's just a great amount of support here in the Valley. Now, it's not coincidental that the Valley is going through a transition along with the leadership at the Chamber. So, of course, Guy, we wish you well. Guy's off taking care of something, I guess. But we do wish Guy well. Also, continue to wish Sarah and Kim and the rest of the team well. We've got a big challenge in front of us, actually a great opportunity with money coming into the Valley, and it's going to be important on everybody's part to make sure that we're wise and spend that money in the appropriate manner. You know, at Farmers, we are extremely optimistic about what's going on here, not only with the Valley, but also with the Chamber, and more importantly, about ourselves. Those of you that know us, you know we are fiercely independent. You know, we've been around since the late 19th century. But, you know, we hear it all the time in our leadership group that we've got to earn the right to stay independent. And what that means to us is really taking care of our four stakeholders. The first stakeholder we focus on are our customers. And the way we look at our customers is that we want to make sure that every experience we have with you, that you win. At Farmers, we don't win alone. And we want to make sure that experience is an equal win-win on behalf of you and the bank. Secondly, we want to take care of our associates. Again, we've developed a pretty strong culture at Farmers, one where we want people to say it's the best place they've ever worked. And we believe the data proves that in the last few years, we have been named one of the best workplaces in the Northeastern Ohio region. Thirdly, we want to take care of our shareholders. Of course, you want to take care of your owners. And the way we do that is with consistent profitability and paying consistent dividends. And I can say to you without question, we've been doing that quarter after quarter and really span several decades. And then lastly, the community. You know, our great leader, Kevin Helmick, talks about contributing your time, your treasures, and your talents. Talks about that a lot to our employees. And without question, when you go out and you see volunteer, you're part of a nonprofit board, I guarantee you'll see somebody from Farmers. So whether it be their time or their treasures with contributions, along with corporate contributions and their talents, again, you won't go very far without finding somebody from Farmers supporting the community. As I said earlier, we're extremely optimistic about what's going on here, excited about what's going on in the Valley, the Chamber, and like I said earlier, particularly about what's happening at Farmers. So on behalf of Farmers, again, welcome this morning. We do congratulate the award winners. So enjoy your moment in the spotlight. You've earned it. And we just hope you enjoy the rest of your morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mark, and to Farmers National Bank for the continuous support of the Chamber and our mission and events like we have today. We'll call on AVI and Anthem for remarks and introduction of our award recipients in just a few moments. But first, I would like to recognize and welcome additional sponsors and thank them for their support of our annual meeting. Our partner sponsors, Continuing Healthcare Solutions, Huntington National Bank, and Team Neo, and patron sponsor, Platts Realty Group. With the additional support of Eastwood Mall, Charles George and Kathy Badgett, Hometown Products, MyMe, Page and Burns Insurance, and Youngstown State University. And our economic development partners, America Makes, Bright Energy Innovators, Eastgate Regional Council of Governments, Jobs Ohio, Valley Economic Business Partners, Western Reserve Port Authority, and the Youngstown Business Incubator. Thank you to all those sponsors. I would also like to recognize the board of the Regional Chamber for their support and guidance throughout the year. Their expertise and insight are incredibly valuable, and they are always ready and willing to help when called on, especially in a year like we had in 2020. I'd especially like to thank Don Klein, Group President for Bonsam Corps Mercy Health, for his leadership, service, and commitment as our board chairman for the last 2 years. Don has been engaged with the organization in numerous ways for several years and is always among the first to champion initiatives that makes us stronger as a region, and thank the chamber staff for a job well done. Don was unable to join us this morning because of the ongoing pandemic, but we cannot thank him enough for all of his hard work and efforts and for offering great wisdom and perspective to the Regional Chamber. Don leaves big shoes to fill as board chair, and I will work hard to continue to help carry the organization forward along with all the other board members as he has in the past 2 years. I would also like to take time to recognize other members of the executive committee of the board who are in attendance and ask them to stand when I recognize them. Attorney Matt Blair. Morning, Matt. Blair of Blair and Littell. Esther Bashaw. I know she's here. She helped organize this thing. Director of Corporate Marketing at the Cafaro Company. Jim Gazer. Jim, good morning. President and CEO of Cortland Bank. And then Ed Moransky, CEO of the Moransky Companies. Definitely see Ed. Please remain standing. If you will remain standing, I would like to call on the entire board to join. So anybody who's a board member, if you'll please stand. And give them a round of applause for their work efforts among our board and in the community. Thank you. Finally, I would also like to recognize 5 board members who finished their terms at the close of 2020. Attorney Marty Bushy of Manchester, Newman and Bennett. David Coy, President and General Manager of WKBN, WYTV, WFX, MyYTV, and Nexstar Media Group. Sharon Harina, former Vice President at Akron Children's Hospital, Mahoning Valley. Ed Kulagi, President and CEO at Aqua, Ohio. I knew I would butcher a name somewhere in all of this. And Ted Schmidt, Regional President for the PNC Financial Services Group. We thank them for all their service and dedication to the Chamber. Before we move on to our award presentations, we're also pleased and proud to be able to give away a product made right here in the Valley. So when you walked in, I think you all got a ticket, by a company that is celebrating 75 years in business. The Gasser Chair Company in Youngstown is a well-recognized American manufacturer of high-quality seating for international hospitality and casino venues, and is operated as family-owned and managed business since brothers Louis, Roger, George Gasser founded the company in 1946. That is one beautiful looking chair. This is such a great story. The company's fortunes took off when one of the Gassers visited Las Vegas and noticed that people playing slot machines had no place to sit. Casinos felt that chairs would take up too much space and negatively impact profits. One casino tried Mr. Gasser's suggestion to offer chairs to people playing the slots. The casino discovered that people played longer and profits increased. So now every casino everywhere uses chairs, and the Gasser Chair Company to this day has the largest share of casino chair businesses. In honor of their anniversary, the Gasser Chair Company wanted to give away one of its chairs and will customize the fabric, color, and logo for the winner this morning. take a look at the chair on the screens, which we just did. It's pretty awesome, and one lucky attendee will be able to meet up with Jesse Potter and Sean Danks from Gasser. Gentlemen, where are you in the room from Gasser Chair Company? Will you please stand? Did they make it this morning? Oh, way in the back, right over there. So if you are the winner, you're going to meet up with the far table. They'll be standing back there, and they'll take your order and customize it however you want. So, okay, here we go. I was told a chamber staffer will bring you a bowl of tickets. Maybe the speaker can draw the winner. The bowl of tickets. And the speaker will draw the winner. Okay, everybody. Okay, bring that thing up here. I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. Okay, pull out your tickets. 3, 4, 8, 0, 6, 6. You're going to have to yell. 3, 4, 8, 0, 6, 6. It's not me. Hey, we have a winner way over there. Congratulations. I'm so glad we had a winner. I did not want Slade to have to draw again. All right. So you're going to meet up with those folks way in the back, and they're going to get you hooked up. Moving on to our award presentations, we're glad to first call on our Spirit of the Valley award presentation sponsor. Avid Food Systems has long been a friend to the Chamber and our award recipient, and our award recipient, and we appreciate their leadership in our community. Please welcome for remarks on behalf of the company, followed by the presentation of the Spirit of the Valley Award, Mr. Scott Grislewski, Chief Operating Officer. Scott.
Good morning, and thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here today with all of you. My name is Scott Grislewski. I am the Chief Operating Officer at AVI Food Systems, and on behalf of our President and CEO, Anthony Piavlis, and his family, it is a true honor and privilege to be here today to present the Spirit of the Valley Award. Anthony, very regretfully, is unable to be here today. However, he sends his sincere regards to each of you, as well as his congratulations to this year's extremely deserving Spirit of the Valley Award winner. Just like Anthony and his family, I too grew up here in the Valley. I'm raising my family here. I've worked here at AVI for many, many years. AVI headquarters in Warren is proud to call the Valley home for over 61 years. Despite the challenges the COVID-19 pandemic has posed over this last year, we recognize and applaud the steadfast efforts and diligent work of the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber, which has been instrumental in helping the Valley persevere. We thank and recognize the Chamber for their unwavering commitment to facilitate growth with nearly $3 billion invested in the Valley by private companies just last year. The renewed sense of passion and enthusiasm within the community is clearly and evident, and AVI shares in this same passion, vision, and enthusiasm for a bright future for this valley. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate Guy Coviello on his new role as President and CEO of the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber, and also express our sincere thanks and gratitude to Tom Humphreys for his extraordinary contributions for over the last 2.5 decades. Thank you again for inviting AVI to share in this very special event. And it is now my distinct honor to present the Spirit of the Valley Award to a business that has displayed exemplary leadership and commitment to the community, economic development, and the overall progress of the Valley. The Youngstown-Warren region has shined in the spotlight numerous times over the years, and 2020 was no exception. Our award recipients' investment in our community, a $2.3 billion investment to be exact, is the largest in the history of the Valley, and we believe one of the largest, if not the largest, private investment made in the United States last year. General Motors has been investing in the people of our valley since the 1960s when it began assembling automobiles in Lordstown. So it wasn't a surprise when the company, in partnership with South Korean company LG Chem, committed to bring our region to the forefront of an emerging industry, the next generation electric vehicle battery cell manufacturing plant, Ultium Cells. Construction of the 2.8 million square foot plant is underway in Lordstown, and when production begins in early 2022, Ultium Cells is expected to employ 1,100 people. In addition, the positive ripple effect in the supply and service provider chains by companies that want to be close to and do business with the company will be significant, as well as their employees' engagement within our community. Just last week, a team of workers of the plant spent time helping to beautify the village by planting mulch, painting Welcome to Lordstown signs, cleaning up around town, and the plant's management will be looking for additional volunteer opportunities as community engagement will be part of the company's culture. In addition to its investment in Ultium Cells, General Motors will spend $12 million by the end of 2022 on education, training, and infrastructure improvements in the valley. Those funds will be given to Youngstown State University, the Village of Lordstown, Eastgate Regional Council of Governments, and the Mahoning Valley Manufacturers Coalition. And finally, when electric vehicle startup Lordstown Motors was looking for a facility to call home, the Detroit automaker kept its former $6.2 million square foot Lordstown complex and all the equipment inside intact and sold it to the manufacturer of the future Endurance pickup for a fraction of its worth, thereby helping the economy and company ramp up for success. Ultimately, General Motors' longtime and ongoing dedication to our community is leading the way for a game-changing future in what has become known as Voltage Valley. And honestly, it has never felt more electrifying. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for our Spirit of the Valley Award and the introduction of a special video presentation of Mark Royce, President of General Motors.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Royce, President of General Motors, and on behalf of our Chairman and CEO, Mary Barra, our senior leadership team, and everyone else at GM, I'd like to thank you for honoring us with the 2021 Spirit of the Valley Award. I can't begin to tell you how much this means to us, given the long and eventful history GM has with the people of the Mahoning Valley, where we've assembled millions of vehicles together. Personally, I'm thrilled to be the one to deliver this message because my roots in the Valley go deep. I've spent a lot of time in Lordstown, and so did my father. The community means a lot to us. I've always felt a strong emotional bond to the Valley, and I'm very happy our relationship will continue for many years to come. I said this in 2010 when I was there to launch the cruise, and I'll say it again. The people there never cease to amaze me with not only their work ethic and dedication, but also their friendliness and heart. Back then, our Lordstown plant had just absorbed 800 transfers from other GM facilities, which can often be a difficult situation. But the community welcomed them and their families with open arms, making the transition much easier. The team at the plant was just as welcoming, figuring out how to best work together to succeed. That always says a lot about what the Spirit of the Valley really is. It also says a lot about why we are grateful for this award and why we remain committed to this area and its people. We've invested, together with LG Energy Solution, more than $2 billion in the Ultium Cells factory that will open up next year, with more than 1,100 Valley residents working inside. Between that factory and our support for Lordstown Motors, we're happy to be part of the conversion of the region to Voltage Valley. We're also happy to help the Valley prepare for long-term success with a $12 million community investment grant. This grant includes support for Youngstown State University and its Center for Workforce Education and Innovation, and the creation of the YSU Energy Storage Innovation and Training Center. Programs like these are game-changing. They create pathways to jobs for many young people and provide the emerging technology industries of Voltage Valley with the trained workforce necessary to succeed. We're proud to support these programs and will continue to do so wherever we can help move the community forward. Again, thank you so much for this award. It has a special meaning for General Motors, to be sure, and it means more to me personally than you'll ever know. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Tom and Mark. Well, Tom wasn't here, but Mark, for your strong support of this community, and we thank them for the future of electric vehicles. We look forward to the beginning of production and what tomorrow brings. Next, I'd like to call on our Spirit of the Chamber Award presentation sponsor, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Anthem has sponsored this event for the past 20 years, and we appreciate their commitment to our valley and continued participation in our programs. Please welcome for remarks, followed by the presentation of the award, Mr. Kevin Duncan, Senior Executive, 100 Plus Market. Kevin?
Good morning, everyone. Blue Cross and Blue Shield has served Ohio for over 80 years, and more than 4,000 of our associates live and work in Ohio. And we all know that today's changing landscape can be a challenge whether you run a small business or a large corporation. Choosing group health insurance can be just a challenge too, and it's no exception. At Anthem, our health plans are designed to cover both everyday and unexpected health care needs of your associates and their families. Your employees will have support from Anthem with user-friendly digital tools and resources to help them navigate the healthcare system. At Anthem, we're finding ways to enable care that results in improved health and wellness for the entire population. And we're also very proud to partner with the Chamber to support local events like this one in our community. I'm so pleased this morning to present the Spirit of the Chamber Award to 3 institutions for their exceptional dedication, commitment, and accomplishments on behalf of the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber. The Valley is fortunate to be home to 3 higher education institutions. And over the years, the Chamber began to discuss a unique collaboration with Eastern Gateway Community College, Kent State University at Trumbull, and Youngstown State University to promote and further enhance internship opportunities at the Chamber. With job openings that become available at the Chamber from time to time, as well as opportunities that exist among its near 2,400 member businesses, the organization wanted to do its part to encourage students to stay and work in our valley once they graduate. The Chamber team can help connect them with members, facilitate networking opportunities, and give them an overall great learning experience. So with the possibility of welcoming an intern for 1 semester to an entire year, the Chamber looked to Eastern Gateway, KSU Trumbull, and YSU and asked for their support in dedicating permanent space in their new offices in Youngstown for students from their respective institutions to work and call their own. The intern offices, which reside along the main, most heavily trafficked hallway off the Chamber's lobby and entrance, welcome students and visitors with near-to-floor ceiling college and university branded vinyl on a glass wall into each space. The Chamber purchased the new furniture for all 3 offices from JS Interior Innovations in Boardman, as well as new laptops for the interns to use. Then on January 28th, the Chamber kicked off its new intern space with the help of the 3 gentlemen sitting right here at our table. You know, words really can't describe it as well as visuals can, so I ask that you please turn your attention to the screens.
The number one issue that we hear from our members is difficulty in finding talent to fill jobs. We felt it was important to do our part and partner with our institutions of higher education. And so we will routinely have interns from Youngstown State, Eastern Gateway, and Kent Trumbull. We think it's a good way to contribute to the brain gain, or stop the brain drain in this community by helping to train some of our future workers. It's definitely a wow space. You walk into our office and you see the illustrations on the windows, and you see the people, young people working right behind that. So yes, like I said, it's certainly a wow space. We like the effect that it's going to have.
As they step out of the CEO's office, they're going to see Eastern Gateway. They're going to see our logo here. The 21st Century Workforce starts here. So we thank the Chamber for this opportunity, this internship opportunity, and we're very happy to continue to partner with them.
We're not going to be short on opportunities in this region. We've got to make sure we have the workforce developed to take advantage of those opportunities. And that's why it's a great opportunity for Richard to intern here. We've got to constantly be raising up our future leaders.
Definitely excited about working here. I can tell they get good things done, and since I grew up in the area, I'm definitely excited about being able to kind of assist with the process of bringing new business opportunities to the area and help develop the workforce and the economy.
We're just thrilled to have the opportunity that they're offering for not only the space, here where students will be interacting on a daily basis with the Chamber and all of their business partners, but obviously the value of that internship for the students is just a phenomenal experience.
The Chamber is grateful to Eastern Gateway Community College President Michael Gagan, Kent State University at Trumbull Interim Dean and Chief Administrative Officer Dr. Daniel Palmer, and Youngstown State University President Jim Tressel for their ongoing support of the organization and its mission to give students tremendous internship experiences and introduce them to significant employment opportunities right here at home. And for that, we are honored to recognize them in the spirit of the Chamber Award. At this time, please join me in welcoming President Gagan from Eastern Gateway Community College for some remarks.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I want to thank the Chamber and to guys' leadership now of the Chamber in presenting this award and recognizing the Eastern Gateway Community College, Youngstown State University, and Kent State Trumbull in allowing us to set up an internship opportunity with the Chamber. We also congratulate Guy on his elevation to the CEO position and president of the Chamber. We are looking forward to working with him and sharing his vision and plans for the Valley. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the staff and our board chair at Eastern Gateway Community College, Mr. Jim Gazier, who's also on the Chamber Board, Mr. Art Daly, who is our Senior Vice President and Chief Development Officer and will be coordinating all the workforce opportunities here in the Valley, Carla Martin, who's our Senior VP in charge of institutional diversity, and our new intern who will be working in the Chamber's offices right next to the CEO's office, Miss Aaliyah Rollins. So thank you very much. At Eastern Gateway, we have reinvented ourselves sort of in the spirit of what's happening here in the Valley. We were a small community college located in Jefferson County in Steubenville just 5 years ago with 2,500 students, and we knew that we had to get additional resources and innovate in order to sustain that campus and the new campus that the Ohio Department of Higher Education directed us to open up in Youngstown. So through our free college program, which has now gone national, it's primarily online. We have 45,000 students attending Eastern Gateway Community College this spring. 7,500 in Ohio, 3,500 in our four-county region, which is Jefferson, Columbiana, Trumbull, and Mahoning. And, you know, we think, and you could see it on the window of our office in the chamber, that the 21st century workforce does start with Eastern Gateway Community College. And we are focused on breaking down traditional barriers. So we have a free college program nationwide. We've extended that to the 4 counties in our service district. So this spring, any student attending Eastern Gateway Community College is attending with no out-of-pocket costs. So we are very excited and happy to be able to afford these opportunities to the future leaders of the Valley. And we want to continue to do that. And we've only been able to really make that happen through the innovation, the leadership of our board. So Guy, again, thank you very much for this recognition. And I also look forward to working with President Tressel at YSU and Dr. Palmer to make sure that we've got the educated workforce to meet the challenges and growth ahead for the Valley. So thank you very much.
Thank you, President Gagan. Next, I'd like to call on Interim Dean and Chief Administrative Officer, Dr. Daniel Palmer from Kent State University at Trumbull.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, a great day to celebrate in many ways. At Kent State University at Trumbull, we're so pleased to be part of this initiative started by the Chamber, and certainly echo the thoughts of a previous speaker and thanking Guy and Tom Humphreys previously in the position for working on this project. At our campus, we've always seen ourselves as Kent State's place in the Valley, and our mission has always been to serve our community needs and primarily to serve workforce development and economic development needs by producing an educated workforce. And I think it's important that the Chamber recognize that one of the great assets of the Valley is that we have 3 excellent higher education institutions, Kent State University, Youngstown State University, and Eastern Gateway, and to really try to utilize to the best of their ability those resources. So having that opportunity to have all 3 educational partners have space at their building, and that visibility in itself is, I think, important. But certainly then the opportunities for the interns and to make those connections with businesses. Again, as the Valley continues to grow and thrive, we know that there's going to be educational needs, and we're here to support those needs and to make this really a place that will have one of the most educated and trained workforces available. So again, thanks to Guy and the Chamber. Thanks to Kent State University staff over there. We have a few folks with us today from our staff, Dave, Jim, and Bill, who certainly have all helped contribute to this effort as well. We're so pleased to be part of this partnership, and again, can't thank everyone enough. So, great.
Thank you, Dr. Palmer. And finally, let's welcome from Youngstown State University, President Jim Tressel.
Much, and on behalf of our entire Youngstown State University family, we're excited to be here today. What a great day it is to be accepting the Spirit of the Chamber Award, March of 2021, St. Patrick's Day. A year ago, things were looking a little bit differently. Our spirit was tested, perhaps. But I remember sitting in a chamber board meeting And Esther Bashow talked about the fact that at the Cafaro Company, they were talking about the reality and the goal they had to make sure that we emerge. And if you look at the annual report, the Chamber adopted that philosophy that we will emerge. And here we are in March of 2021, out together, feeling as if we're going to emerge, feeling good about being with one another. We're certainly very, very proud at Youngstown State University to be a part of this wonderful program. And we too welcome Guy into his new responsibility. We're excited. Slade is here, and we'll have the opportunity to share with us about the exciting things that are happening both in his home base in Colorado, but with all of his interactions here in the Valley. We're certainly excited about our relationship with General Motors and LG Chem and Ultium and that group as they continue to help us emerge as we go forward. And like any award, it's made possible because of the people that you have surrounding your initiatives. And we have a great table right up front here. In fact, the fact that it was a Spirit Award, some of our folks thought that we needed to dress up for the occasion with the spirit of the occasion. So, John Hayden, if you would stand up, you won the award. John Hayden, our Director of Facilities, showing the spirit of the day. Shannon Sweeney Tyrone, stand up. You were a runner-up. Okay, pretty good. She did well. And then our bronze medalist, Jackie Ruler. Please stand up, Jackie. The spirit of YSU, wearing their Eastern Gateway green, St. Patrick's Day green. But we're fortunate to have an extraordinary staff. Our provost, Brian Smith, is with us today. We also have Dave Sapusik, the director of our Excellence Training Center, which many of you have seen being constructed on the corner of 5th and Commerce, 54,000 square feet of additive manufacturing and all of the manufacturing 4.0 exciting things, partnering with Eastern Gateway and YBI and America Makes and the Career and Tech Centers and the Manufacturers Coalition. And so David's going to be getting the keys to that castle on Friday, March 26th, and begin moving all of the wonderful equipment and so forth. If he doesn't get the keys to the castle on March 26th, he owes me a cup of coffee, because I bet him he wouldn't meet his deadline. So I told him I like my coffee black, but we'll see. He claims cream and sugar, but he's looking forward to it. He's got his sidekick, Cameron Gigi, who just came to us from General Electric in Cincinnati, an additive manufacturing guru of his own. And so he'll be joining our staff. And then we have Dean Betty Jo Olakata, who's with us here today, the Dean of our College of Business. And we also have one of our newest members of our family, Jennifer Odo, who is the Executive Director of our Center for Workforce Education and Innovation. So they're the reason why there's a lot of spirit going on our campus. It's good to see our students walking around. It looks a little bit like summer school. It isn't, 12,000 people walking around, but it's good to see them out there, and they're out there by the fountain when the sun is shining, and they have their masks, and they've done a great job of keeping our cases down. They've done a great job in our residence halls and in our apartments. They've been very patient with the construction going on Fifth Avenue, and we're excited about when that Fifth Avenue corridor will be done. And so we're very, very fortunate. And as Dr. Gagan mentioned, you can't do it without a great board of trustees. And so we happen to have Chuck George here with us, a member of our board of trustees and one of our sponsors for today and sidekick of Slade. And so we're very, very fortunate to have an amazing board. We're excited to be partners with the Chamber. We're excited to be partners with all of you. And it's a lot of fun to be in this new facility. And as Esther predicted, and Esther went to work making sure we would do, we're going to emerge. And we're happy to be a part of the team that's going to emerge. And thanks so much on behalf of YSU. Thank you.
Thank you, Presidents Tressel, Gagan, and Dr. Palmer, for all that you've done to help accomplish on the Chamber's behalf and for the students in our Valley. Because of your programs, faculty and commitment to organizations like ours, we will grow stronger together and, of course, as President Tressel said, emerge. Also, you saw YSU's intern Richard Hall in the video. We're pleased that we've already announced Leah Rollins from Eastern Gateway is in attendance and starting her internship with the Chamber next week. We're also working with Kent Trumbull to bring on an intern as the semester is well underway when the announcement was made. Can you please all give our award recipients one more round of applause? We've been anticipating this program and hearing from our keynote speaker since he agreed to join us back in the fall. We would not have been able to bring him here, though, without our partner, Personal Protected. Please welcome its Vice President, Holly Schwartz, for remarks and tell us more about the company's groundbreaking hand-washing station, which was outside, as well as the introduction of Dr. Slade Gardner.
Good morning, and thank you. I want to say thank you to the Chamber, all the work that they've done here in the Valley. It's amazing to be a part and see it firsthand. Personal Protected is happy to be a sponsor here at this annual event. And to talk about Personal Protected, I have to talk a little bit about our history. So hello, my name is Holly Schwartz. My husband Jeff and I own Hitchhiker Manufacturing, a company that has serviced the outdoor amusement industry for 52 years. And we have risen to be the premier manufacturer of custom food concession trailers in North America. When our industry was shut down, all of our business was 100% canceled. From coast to coast, done. So just like most small businesses with employees, we wanted to keep our people working. But how? Listening to daily briefings from the governor and hearing 3 mandates about wearing masks, social distancing, and washing hands, along with our internal discussions of what we were going to do to stay viable. We brainstormed to put together hand washing and social distancing for a solution. My husband Jeff has spent 32 years designing for customers with high volume needs. He came up with an attractive solution that is a 4-person, multi-user, all touchless, high volume hand washing station that provides built-in social protection and can service 720 individual hand washes in an hour. And we named it the Quad Sink, which we have on display today. A lot of amazing things took place in a short amount of time as Personal Protected became a company, several patents were filed, trademarks registered, and the working prototype was built. Our first sale was to President Jim and Ellen Tressel, who recognized this as a solution and implemented 10 across YSU's campus to assist the safe return of students. From there, we have sold quad sinks across the Tri-County area to many of the K-12 schools. They are recognized for outdoor use at sporting events, along with indoor uses at entrances and cafeteria lunch lines to facilitate hygiene for students quickly. Along with CARES funding, there have been company sponsors associated with this healthy solution and made way for schools and communities to purchase. Currently, we have been delivering to our local senior centers, the YMCAs, the Boys and Girls Club of America, and for future, we see quad sinks as a healthy addition in the event centers, malls, convention centers, and stadiums around this nation, much like the scrappers that are out there looking right now for some funding and sponsorship for their unit. The quad sink has a bigger scope than we had ever first imagined. We thought, how were we going to get our industry open again in the amusement industry? But we feel that this is bigger than that. We knew people would need to get back together again in a safe manner. Our vision is the quad sink will be a part of gathering again across this nation safely. And we are so glad to be a part of a healthy solution for people, to have a healthy humanity. Thank you. And now it is my distinct honor to introduce today's keynote speaker. With additive manufacturing, or 3D printing, soon to become a $1 trillion industry in the US and in the Valley, home of American Makes, at the heart of it all. We are so pleased to welcome one of the world's foremost authorities on additive manufacturing to Youngstown-Warren, Ohio. Dr. Slade Gardner is president and founder of Colorado-based Big Metal Additive, which is focused on individual industrial hybrid metal additive manufacturing, featuring manufacturing-grade software for engineering workflow and finishing machining to produce large, ready-to-use parts produced for clients in the automotive, heavy transportation, construction, aerospace, space industries, as well as the U.S. Department of Defense. Just some of those products include a wind tunnel model, satellite components, construction machinery repair parts, spacecraft development articles, automotive chassis, a 21-inch diameter unmanned underwater vehicle, and a 50-foot ocean-capable cargo transport. The adoption of large metal additive manufacturing by the space industry was first accepted by Dr. Gardner's industry-leading work with titanium satellite propellant tanks. Previously, he pioneered and transitioned to production, large-scale additive manufacturing as a distinguished fellow at Lockheed Martin Space Systems and at Lockheed Martin's Aeronautics. He served 3 years, 2 as chair of the External Review Board at Sandia National Labs for the Bourne Qualified Program to accelerate qualification of additive manufactured components. Dr. Gardner has advised corporations, institutions, national laboratories, and the U.S. government on strategy and development priorities for adoption and industrial application of advanced manufacturing. He earned his PhD from Virginia Tech and his Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering from Lafayette College. He is a member of SME, a nonprofit association that supports the manufacturing industry, a member of the board for Colorado Advanced Manufacturing Association, and a frequent public presenter advocating the importance of advanced manufacturing. Dr. Gardner enjoys traveling and dining with his wife, as well as all seasons of mountain sports. He is also an avid motorcycle enthusiast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm Valley welcome for Dr. Slade Gardner.
Thank you, Holly. It's really nice to be here. I always feel so welcome in Northeast Ohio. I feel like I'm part of this community. A good bit of that is my partner, Chuck George. He keeps us rooted with business operations here in the Mahoning Valley. We have Tim Schaefer at Farmers Bank that helps us with our banking. We have Stuart Strassfield that helps us with our legal. Bob Griffith taking care of our insurance needs. And Pat O'Connor with our accounting. Really great to be here today. I guess we're going to show some slides and talk about reinvention and talk about how additive manufacturing can help imagine the reinvention. And so I want to thank Holly and Jeff of Personal Protected. I spent some time talking with Jeff and Holly last night. You know, their story is a real American story of reinvention. And if you haven't met them, I encourage you to meet them and talk with them about how they persevered in the face of adversity. So I want to thank them for the keynote sponsor. I started my career at Lockheed Martin. I actually saw a friend of mine, Brady Walters here. He brought me into Lockheed Martin in '99. And my PhD was from Virginia Tech. I studied synthetic materials, composite materials. I wanted to build jet fighters. Brady called me and he said, Slade, we've got a job here. It's the Super Bowl of composite manufacturing. We're trying to win the F-35. You've got to come to Texas and help us build these composite parts. Manufacturing was my passion. And so I joined Lockheed Martin and started working in conventional composite manufacturing. We did a lot of really great things together. We built lots of composite structures. Ultimately, we captured and won the F-35 program. Then there was a team inside Lockheed Martin. In the legendary Skunk Works, there was a team focused on one mission. And the mission was beautiful. It came from the president of the company, and the president showed extreme leadership. He didn't tell this team what to do. He told them what he wanted, and what he said was, pour me an airplane. What in the world does that mean? But it was a visionary mission that said, I need new ways of building new structures and solving problems in a new way. We explored a lot of different things. We explored a lot of additive manufacturing, large-scale, structural additive manufacturing, lots of different materials. One of the things that I did early on with this team was to demonstrate and develop large-scale polymer composite additive manufacturing. We put an extruder on a robot, and we were building structure. That's where I met Chuck George. Chuck created a company specifically to build the foremost extruders for large-scale additive manufacturing and really leading the industry at strong press with delivery of those extruders all across the globe. Mike Garvey's here today too. He's leading Center Street Technology. They're taking this technology to a whole new level and bringing additive manufacturing together with conventional machining in the same build envelope is very important, and they're doing that at Center Street Technologies. But one of the things about building parts for airplanes, you have customers with very demanding requirements. You have program managers that say, do you trust what you're building? And sometimes you get the question, would you fly on that airplane with your part on it? It's a good question. While I was at Lockheed Martin, I had a hobby. I raced motorcycles. I also had friends in the additive manufacturing industry. Some of those friends were interested in making titanium valves for race motorcycles. Lightweight, hollow, high-performance valves. We built a superbike with these 3D printed titanium valves. This superbike would routinely reach speeds of 180 miles an hour down the front straight at Texas World. So would you fly on that airplane? Would you race that motorcycle? I had a lot of thoughts about what might happen if the engine seized at 180 miles an hour. And I ran that scenario through my head a couple of times. None of the results are good. But we raced that motorcycle. We had one failure. We overcame that failure, made a redesign of the component, and we completed a 6-hour endurance race on that superbike. So that was an important moment for me. Do you trust what you're doing? Yeah, I trust what I'm doing. I'm able to manage risk in order to achieve a result. In the corporate environment, you get a lot of education about managing risk. And in the corporate environment, you're taught to manage risk to not fail. On the racetrack, you're taught to manage risk to win. That was something that became very important to me. How do you manage risk to win? Forget about not failing. And so this was an important part in my career. It gave me a new way of thinking about attacking technology programs. Subsequently, I was inducted as a fellow of Lockheed Martin. I served as 3 terms at fellow in aeronautics and also at Space Systems Company. But it was this new idea, this new courage of attacking problems that were very difficult, that had enormous risk. While I was at Space Systems, I built the first 3D printed titanium propellant tank for Spacecraft. It was a demonstration article. And our motivation was cost and schedule. We were using the same traditional design for propellant tanks. We were replacing forged articles. but we were going to save 50% of the cost and 80% of the schedule for these products. Now, a propellant tank is the most fracture critical part on a billion-dollar satellite. It's one of the only components that's actually loaded its entire life. Most things, when they're launched into zero G, once they're free of Earth's gravitational pull, they're not loaded any longer. But the pressure tank is always loaded under pressure. So this is a critical element. We generated enough confidence. We mitigated risk enough to show the physics of failure of these test tanks was exactly the same as the forged articles. The mechanical performance was the same. This was an incredible achievement. But going through this process of developing metal additive manufacturing, transitioning it to the factory, and bringing it into the space program gave me experience. It showed me the deficiencies of metal additive manufacturing. And there were plenty of issues that we had to solve. I decided to reinvent myself. And I stepped away from Lockheed Martin and I founded a company. This company, Big Metal Additive, we're industrializing metal additive manufacturing. We work at a large scale. We work with industrial work practices. We've created an end-to-end software workflow that engineers can adopt, that we can do rapid design changes, and that we can produce parts very quickly. Our process includes metal deposition, but also 5-axis machining. So we can not only produce machined passages and trapped volumes, we can do surface machining as well. This becomes very important for creating complex geometries. I want to take you on a little tour of our factory, and I've got a video that'll just do just that. Science, when done properly, is often mistaken as magic.
This group is so energized and excited by developing better concepts for the products that we currently use.
Part of industrializing additive manufacturing is bringing it into a manufacturing relevance. We're bringing together conventional aluminum fabrication capabilities with the benefits of hybrid additive manufacturing. And this is the future. Our process uses 5-axis metal deposition and 5-axis CNC machining. We're minimizing post-processing, we're eliminating machining after the fact.
There are geometries out there that can't be made any other way.
Now, hybrid component really means a lot. We can go from solid model to prototype faster than anyone else in the world. We're an engineering company. We're a manufacturing company. We produce sophisticated customer parts.
And we can make just about anything. All we need is an idea.
We are additive experts. We work with other additive experts, and we work with people completely new to the additive field.
The root of it all is the company culture. You're going to have an entire team contributing to solve problems.
And they're excited about their work. They're out for science, for magic. Big Metal Additive is the next generation of manufacturing.
Our customers are the courageous ones. They're the people who understand that technology can solve difficult challenges. We are industrializing metal additive manufacturing. Thank you. You got to meet our team. That's one of the rewards that I didn't realize was going to be so powerful. Being a fellow at Lockheed Martin had its own incredible reward. Being a part of an amazing corporation like that had its own reward. Being a businessman, that has its own reward too. And I'm happy we got to share that with you. Our hybrid process allows us to build geometries that other additive processes can't. Because we bring machining into the mix, we can create things that other processes simply can't make. This is a bench seat. It was made for a marine transport unit. We designed and built it, and we designed it with brand new design software tools, things that allow you to imagine structures that you wouldn't come up with on your own. And so these kinds of brand new imaginative structures, they're one of the secrets of additive manufacturing. They're one of the powerful tools that are ready to be unleashed. And this is a way that software and design is going to allow people to reinvent the things that they already make. I've got a challenge for all of you, and I'm going to tell you about the challenge at the very end of the presentation, but it focuses around these ideas. And so we designed this article, we produced it, and it's a bench seat, right? But we had freedom of design expression. Turns out it was a good idea because it helped us communicate to our future customers what kinds of geometries and capabilities we could produce. So right now, you may be aware that air taxis are a thing. The Air Force calls it air mobility, and it's really a way of exploring the way that electrified flight can be used for urban transport. There's lots of companies around the globe exploring what does an air taxi look like. There's lots of wonderful ideas, but here's what's happening. People are looking at an air taxi and they're saying, well, where's the propulsion go? Where's the energy storage go? Where's the subsystems go? We don't know. No one's ever made an air taxi before. And so people are thinking about this problem from an architecture or a configuration perspective. They're thinking about this problem in a new way. We've captured an Air Force program to do just that. We're starting with a conventional style of conceptual design for an air taxi. This is a 4-seat air mobility unit, and we're analyzing it. We're having a look at the way that these new software capabilities can help us reimagine what an air taxi might look like. And so we'll be producing a demonstration article of this brand new design for an air taxi. We'll be building it at full scale because that's what we do. And we're excited about the things that we're going to learn and the things that we're going to share with the community. But you know what? This concept applies to all industries. Right now, automotive is having a look at new technologies. Electrification is a big one. Autonomy is a big one. Sensors and safety, those are all big topics. The automobile probably has a very similar architecture to what it had in the 1950s and 60s. Everything is kind of arranged the same way. What if you reimagine it? And what if you take some of these new corollary technology adoptions as your opportunity to reimagine the whole thing? And maybe you have a look at the way that some of these new design capabilities impact the configuration of a next generation automobile. And so that's something really interesting to think about. The fact that we can reimagine our products and then they're now producible. And additive manufacturing is a key way, at least to prototype. You don't have to manufacture everything with additive manufacturing, but it helps you explore designs much more quickly. An example of designing and of exploring a design very quickly, President Tressel, you'll really appreciate this. YSU has some of the most iconic fire hydrants around. My friend Mark LaMancha, he's a visionary of new technology and how it can impact future manufacturing. He sent us a model of what he thinks a cast fire hydrant might look like. And here's what we did. We took the design and we built it with additive manufacturing. Now, would you build tens of thousands of these with additive manufacturing? No, but would you prove your design? Would you refine your design with additive manufacturing? We think so. And so, of course, if you want to have a look at this a little later, I brought one with us. This is a way to explore new designs, new product architectures. But something very interesting happens when you build something with additive manufacturing. You have a digital file. I don't have a warehouse full of these parts, but I have a digital file and I have a machine that can make as many as you need. So other companies are exploring the way that this digital inventory can impact their overall business operations. What happens if there's a part that's 50 years old and it needs a replacement? You go to the warehouse and you find the part and you ship it to the customer. What happens when your supply is depleted? Now you've got to make a decision. Do you do another manufacturing run? How many do you make? How many more are you going to have to provide? There's risk, there's cost, there's management. But if it's a digital inventory, you essentially have as many spare parts as you need. And with the kinds of capabilities we have at Big Metal Additive, you have them just in time. So it brings a new way of thinking about replacement parts and spares. And so I told you I was going to have a challenge for you. And my challenge to you is the next time that you have to build something, make something, repair, or replace something, it's mental gymnastics. Imagine, how would this change if I used additive manufacturing? Don't worry about the economics right now. Don't worry about the machines. Don't worry about the process. Just start imagining, what would this look like if I used 3D printing or additive manufacturing to build it? What would I change if I had complete design freedom? Would I turn a structure into a multifunctional structure? Would I add thermal? Would I put cable races? Would I machine passages through it? Would I make internal cavities? Just go through that mental exercise. But then part two is tell someone about it. This community is very strong in additive manufacturing. Talk to someone at America Makes or YSU or the YBI and tell them your idea and start the conversation, because innovation happens from one person who pushes. And so, strike an arc, make a difference, have an impact, and manage risk to win. And I think this place has a very bright future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Slade. I was looking forward to his remarks when we met last night. And number one, what he was talking about was really cool. But number two, how would you love to go to work every day with that leather coat on? That's really cool. Thank you very much for being here today. It's a pleasure to hear you. Finally, this morning, I am proud to introduce a new leader. We're almost done, folks. At the helm of our regional chamber for some insight on what the organization is working on in this year and beyond. Our board had brought former president and CEO Tom Humphreys back in 2019 for a short time, knowing we would have to undertake an extensive search to name a new president and CEO in 2021. A few months later, the unimaginable happened with pandemic, and yet under Tom's leadership, the chamber ended 2020 better than it had started financially, and he positioned the organization for much success in this year. Tom is taking a much and well-deserved vacation under the sun in Florida. We cannot thank him enough for his leadership during these unprecedented times. Our new president and CEO, Guy Coviello, is no stranger to this group, our membership, or the community, as he joined the chamber as vice president of government affairs in 2014 after a decades-long career in journalism. He would later become president of the Chamber Foundation, and when he threw his hat in for the position, had a clear plan, a vision for the next 10-plus years, how the chamber will grow into the future. I would say that we have, as a CEO chamber president in Guy, a visionary who loves to attach himself to those things that will take our valley to the next level. Please welcome, to tell us more about 2020 and what the chamber team is working on, President and CEO of the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber, Guy Coviello. Guy? Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate that. I want to thank the Chamber Board of Directors for putting so much faith in me. And Michael, I must say, we had to go to our bullpen to find an MC for today, and you turned out to be an ace reliever. Nice job throughout the morning. I want to take care of a couple housekeeping items first. If you would mark your calendars for April 14th, that's when we will host the 4th annual Mahoning Valley's Columbus Drive-In. And we'll go to the Sheraton Inn on Capitol Square, and we will advocate for the most important public policy priorities to the most influential public policy makers in Columbus. And I'd also like to have you put on your calendars May 13th. On May 13th, we will bring back our Athena Awards, and we will have an outstanding and inspirational speaker in Tammy Whitworth, the owner of Window World Corporate, who has overcome the early death of her husband, overcome breast cancer, and a single mother of 3 has taken that company to the largest exterior home remodeler in the United States with 228 locations in all 48 lower states. I look forward to hearing from her inspirational message on May 13th. And to talk about inspirational messages, thank you, Slade. I really appreciate you escaping the blizzards of Denver a couple days ago, or yesterday, and making your way here. And I also want to thank you for your economic investment in our community. And it's good to hear that your experience has been such as it is, that we are a community that's open for business. So thank you, and thank you for your messages today. It's exactly 1 year ago this week that coronavirus began to spread throughout the state of Ohio. And then it began, day after day, recording an escalation of COVID cases, and correspondingly, an escalation of business closures. And from that perspective, we're glad to see 2020 behind us. But even though we all struggled through that crisis, the Regional Chamber's Economic Development team, the Regional Chamber's Economic Development and Public Policy partners never let up. And all of those partners from here to Columbus are with us this morning, and I want to thank them for being here. Jobs Ohio, Team NEO, America Makes, the Eastern Ohio Military Affairs Commission, the Western Reserve Port Authority, Eastgate Council of Governments, Valley Economic Development Partners, Bright Energy Innovators, the Youngstown Business Incubator. Together, last year, we announced nearly $3 billion of economic investment in this community. And together, last year, we announced the creation of nearly 2,000 new jobs. And together, we saw one of the Valley's largest employers, the Youngstown Air Reserve Station, grow to more than 2,000 workers and grow to an annual economic impact of more than $137 million. From that perspective, 2020 was not all bad. This is truly an exciting time to become the leader of the Regional Chamber. And I'm still the new kid on the block. It's only been 2.5 weeks, so I still get a lot of the same questions over and over again. How does it feel? What's it like so far? And every time I answer that question, I'm reminded of something that the late, great baseball manager, Tommy Lasorda, once said. My biggest fear is that my mother is going to shake me and say, "Wake up, guy, it's time to go to school." There's many reasons why this is like a dream, and it begins with a great staff at the Chamber. This event is proof of that. We followed the advice of the Board of Health and quarantined more than half of our staff.
and this event has turned out to be such a wild success with everybody else that was remaining. Another reason this is like a dream is because of our partners that I cited earlier. And at your table is our annual report and more proof of why this is such a dream and those partners are so important. And here at the Chamber, this is kind of a dream because of our members, 2,400 of them that continually give us strong support. And there's two in particular that I want to cite today. Once again, point out that Gasser Chair Company is celebrating its 75th anniversary. And the other company that I want to shout out today is Page & Burns Insurance, celebrating its 100th anniversary. Congratulations. We all appreciate such a long-time commitment to this community. And I firmly believe that this community has sustainable, competitive advantages over virtually every other community in the country on which to build our economy. And we heard this morning about two of those sustainable, competitive advantages. We are at the forefront of electric, autonomous, connected mobility. And we are at the forefront of additive manufacturing. Right here in the Valley, we are about to revolutionize the world's economy. So, I'm going to ask you to stay tuned. Over the next 12 months, we will be announcing partnerships with all of those organizations that I mentioned earlier. And together, with our vision on those sustainable, competitive advantages, we will, together, manage risk to win and blaze a trail toward Mahoning Valley 2030. And then we will put 2020 way back in the rearview mirror. So I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank you all for giving me so much support. It's been overwhelming for the last 2.5 weeks. I want to thank my board for putting so much trust in me. I will do my best not to let you down. And with that, please continue to practice your COVID safety. As long as we keep doing that, we'll continue to emerge from this crisis. And please be safe. Have a good day.